So we'll get there in a moment, and thank you very much for helping us with the difference between de-radicalization and de-association. But I mean, sadly, our focus tonight is on de-radicalization programs. And you know, many are very concerned about the effectiveness of these programs because some say one of the challenges with, for instance, Operation Safe Corridor was that many victims and members of the local communities were very hostile to the returning and, you know, call them repentant insurgents as a result of the trauma from their losses and on their perceived ground that these former fighters are incapable of repentance. And I wonder how true this is.
Yes. Again, it still has to do with what I am saying about separating those who are, for example, let's give a practical example.
Okay.
I do not think anybody in the Northeast will complain if they say, for example, one of the Chibok girls that has gone and given birth with a terrorist has been given amnesty. I do not think there's anybody in Borno, Adama, and Yobe that will complain. But it is difficult. I mean, it is a different case where somebody who is known to have attacked a particular village or killed a particular person is seen to be enjoying amnesty. So again, where you see you have to really compliment those people who drafted that article in the Geneva Convention. If you don't follow these things, these are things that are likely to happen. So that's another thing. Another problem is that initially, again, like I said, I have worked on that program as a consultant. Initially, there was overemphasis on reintegrating the ex-Boko Haram by giving them goodies, by giving them monetary and this thing, while the people in the community, because when they go to a community, they have their own camp, while the other larger community are seeing they are not getting anything from the program. But I think to a large extent, that was repaired, at least for the Operation Safe Corridor. It became clear that if you are going to give assistance to the Boko Haram ex-combatants, you also have to make sure that the larger community, in fact, instead of giving the aid directly to Boko Haram, look for an aid that will benefit the whole community. That is the only way you can make the people to accept. Because again, the de-radicalization and reintegration, honestly, it cannot work unless there is a buy-in from the local community. And the local community, you have to convince them that in carrying out that program, you are balancing justice for the victims as well as also trying to build peace. That is the only way it will succeed.
But Group Captain, would you say Operation Safe Corridor is a successful program?
Well, in terms of numbers of people that have come and gone through the program, I think the military or anybody will say it makes less work for the military. However, it is not a one-step something. Even after coming out from the Malansidi Rehabilitation Center, like I said, how you continue with the program of reintegration is what will ultimately determine whether we have a lasting peace. There could be a short-term gain. The short-term gain is people have surrendered. You have done the radicalization. They have finished. There is picture about them. That is a short-term gain. To build on that and get a long-term gain, you have to work seriously on the reintegration, on buying community support. It is only after a while, if we do not have people that are going back to take up arms, if we have the local community accepting the people that, okay, those that need to be punished have been punished, these ones that they were, we can say, victims of circumstances, they are our neighbors, they are our children, they didn't commit any crime, they are back, we can live happily with them, it is only then. So, with due respect, when you say successful, there are short-term gains, and then there are long-term gains. Now what we can see is the short-term gains. But there are, steps that can be taken to ensure that we have a lasting peace. We do not have a relapse into, people going back into the bush.
All right, I get that.